And this is just an experiment because, even an article I read, other states are in the process of implementing the same proposals. You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping that, with your help or something, we could do some kind of campaign like that, which I think, if we peppered the properties of, most of anyone who wake up in Massachusetts, put this up. I mean, there's no way
absolutely
mainstream media can ignore this anymore.
Sir, I appreciate your call. Look, that contest with the Obama Joker poster image that our listeners put up in hundreds of communities around the country and the world, making news in Japan, Germany, England, the United States, South America, that was big because listeners took action. And I can only do so many contests, so many events, so many ideas. We talk about Massachusetts. We talk about the forced inoculations. I spent the first and second hour on the flu and Obama's civil emergency. And yes, but people in that state need to stand up. They do plan to forcibly inject. They do plan to quarantine. That's in the national executive order and the UN rules. All we can do is cover what's happening. Everything else is up to the people. I am powerless without the people. I am absolutely powerless. I mean, I look at the news in front of me, and I want to get into this climate. Taxes on dogs, taxes on your cars, taxes on everything. Mobile phones confirmed to be causing brain cancer. Mainstream news. Again, taxes on everything with the carbon taxes. The Copenhagen Treaty coming up. I've got it all here. We're going to go over it. That's in my next stack. We're being hit from all sides. It's like Dr. Paul Craig Roberts wrote an article today, Are You Ready for the Next Emergency? And he says, I can't even chronicle how fast the corruption and pure tyranny is. One of these forms of takeover that are happening is enough for us to completely abolish the government and start it over again according to the Declaration of Independence. I mean, it's just total takeover, total looting, total robbing, and we ain't seen nothing yet, as they say. Ron in Vermont. Ron, you're on the air.
How you doing, Alex? I just want to say, I appreciate you rebroadcasting your broadcast 24/7 because sometimes I miss things and, I just need to hear them again, and it's almost like a deconditioning, from all the years I've been watching, regular television, and I need that. And
we all need it. Listen, we all need it. I catch myself being propagandized. I catch myself all the time. I understand more. I see how they operate. I mean, it is a fight to even be awake under this mind control.
I just wanted to tell you how I stumbled upon Alex Jones. If somebody told me to tune into PrisonPlanet.tv or InfoWars, I would have said, boy, that's kind of off the wall. But, I had a chemical exposure to HF, buffered HF, which is hydrofluoric acid. And because it was buffered, it didn't burn, so I didn't really know I had it. But what happened was it started to just break down my body, and I've been fighting this thing, and I've been looking for answers, and I found Dr. Blaylock online. And I went to YouTube, and he was on your show. And, I was getting treated, and my other doctor tried to use other halogens because that's what fluoride is, to kind of displace it. But when I used iodine to get rid of it, it kind of made me worse. And I only found out through Blaylock that if you do that, then you can leach out too much, and you can, re-poison yourself. So I really appreciate you, having him on because he really knows what he's talking about.
Well, let me break that down. I mean, Dr. Blaylock is a top brain surgeon. He invented a whole bunch of different types of brain surgeries. He discovered excitotoxins that is now in thousands of medical periodicals. I mean, he is a top scientist. And he's telling you what MSG and sodium fluoride and other forms of fluoride and vaccines are doing. And we have expert after expert after expert. None of this is my opinion. But did Dr. Blaylock's information help you any?
Oh, absolutely. And your sponsors that you have, I can't thank you enough, because what is it, Zeolite? That has been tremendous for detox, and the hemp, the microplant food, and now I have Berkey filters. The thing is, when you try to combat something like this, because the fluoride itself is breaking down, my enamel and things like that, my teeth, and my sister's a dentist, and because of that, I'm leaching out even more mercury from my amalgam fillings.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're on the road to recovery. We're going to break and coming back with more calls and more news on this Monday edition, the 26th day of October 2009. I'm Alex Jones. The ball's in your court with Fall of the Republic, folks. Don't count on others. Get it, make copies.
This is Alex Jones.
The main reason Obama has declared a civil emergency is so they can use the swine flu as a cover to put in more threat fusion centers, more federal money to the states, further takeover of our community unconstitutionally. And so they can give an untested, experimental, admittedly dangerous vaccine to the public. And if he declares an emergency, it scares everybody into going out and taking the shot. That's it. I don't think they're going to have mass quarantines and lockdowns and roundups, except for Massachusetts, where they're passed the law. And they may try it there. It's one thing to pass a law. It's another thing. I could claim I was emperor of the world, or I could claim I was Buck Rogers. It'd be another thing to actually conquer the world or become Buck Rogers. Or Duck Dodgers in the 21st century, as Daffy Duck says. Another lame attempt at humor. Tim in Ohio, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Talk about a lame attempt at humor. What a perfect intro for me, Alex. How you been?
Good, Tim. What's on your mind?
I wanted a few things I wanted to get off my screen here. What do you think? Are you hearing any chatter about school districts? Our local school district here in the past couple of years built 10 spanking brand new buildings with the windows that don't open or close on the inside.
Oh, yeah, everything's a prison, a lockdown. The schools are federalization centers to tax and take over your towns. There's nothing local about them unless you totally take over your communities. The more schools we get, the dumber the kids get. And now they want the kids to go year-round and stay there after hours. And the state is taking your children. They're announcing in Illinois and California that they want to make homeschooling illegal, saying the state owns your children.
At the same time, they laid off 249 teachers while they built 10 brand new buildings.
Well, that's why the local boss hogs always want the federalization of schools, because that's a local payoff, is those building contracts.
And a bit of advice to the people in Massachusetts: if you don't have guns, take a look at two movies real close, Braveheart and Home Alone.
Tim, good to hear from you. Robert in California, you're on the air, and then Eric, Vanessa, Mark, and others. Go ahead, Robert.
Alex, how are you?
Good.
Hey, thank you for what you're doing. You were just mentioning about them saying they own the children. My son, we're here in San Diego, and he came home and had some paperwork there, and the paperwork from the teacher was saying, we own you when you're in the school.
Yes,
so
they issue those for years, and they fine parents if the kids don't finish the homework. It's total garbage.
What I wanted to call you about, my wife caught this the other evening. We were watching one of the baseball games or whatever it was, championships, and they had a commercial on. Wendy's is promoting North American beef made in North America.
Yes, all the labeling now says North American, and 2 years ago I got a letter from the Texas Department of Labor saying you now send your forms not to the feds but to the North American Bureau. So we're in the North American Union.
Exactly. Can I say something to the guys in Massachusetts? I think a better sign to put up would be the one that I remember as a kid when you wandered off into someone's private property that showed the guy with a barrel of a shotgun saying, warning, you come into my property, you'll get your head blown off. I think those are the signs we need to put up that we will defend our property. And Jesus said to go out and get yourself a sword and protect your family. If not, you were worse than an infidel. So we need to be, as Christians and as patriots, defend our families. And this tyranny has got to stop.
It does. But look, everybody's up in arms about mass, saying they can come in your house and take you away for no reason. What about knock and talk under federal grants? It's not just Illinois and Massachusetts and California, police states. I remember 6-7 years ago, Dallas Morning News, in the wealthy areas, they normally test it out on the poor people. They come to your door during the day. They admit they case the home to make sure the husband's not at home. And they say, we want to search your house for illegal guns. And they force their way in past the woman. And I mean, they're getting the police ready for when they have all these gun buybacks. They did that in England, in Australia, and New Zealand before they banned most guns. They admit this, what they're doing. The image of all these police behind tables with people handing their guns in, and then the image of the guns being smashed or thrown away, being demolished, being destroyed, that is to condition everybody to seeing that image. Just like